Behind every perfect picture, there can be a deadly secret. In today's story, we uncover the shocking case of a brilliant young couple whose American dream ended in betrayal, poison, and murder. In 2006, a young Chinese couple, Xiaoye Wang and his wife, Tianle Li, moved to the United States. Both were exceptionally bright. Wang, a talented computer engineer, and Li, a chemist, seemed destined for success. By 2008, they had settled in Middlesex County, New Jersey, and a year later, welcomed a baby boy. To neighbors and friends, they looked like the perfect immigrant family living the American dream. But behind closed doors, their marriage was falling apart. By 2009, police had already been called several times to their home due to domestic disputes. The couple was heading toward divorce, yet still living together under the same roof. Then, in late 2010, Wang suddenly began to feel unwell. At first, he thought it was just the flu, fatigue, nausea, stomach pain. But soon his condition worsened dramatically. His hair began to fall out in clumps, a terrifying sign that something far more sinister was happening inside his body. In January 2011, Wang was admitted to Princeton Hospital. Doctors were puzzled. His symptoms didn't match any common illness. It wasn't until a nurse recalled reading about a similar case in China, a student who died from thallium poisoning, that the truth began to emerge. Tests confirmed it. Wang had been poisoned with thallium, a colorless, tasteless, and odorless metal salt so toxic that it had been banned in the US since the 1980s. By the time the rare antidote, Prussian blue, arrived at the hospital, it was too late. On January 26, 2011, Xiaoye Wang slipped into a coma and died 12 days later. The FBI and local authorities launched an investigation. All evidence pointed to one suspect, his wife, Tianle Li. At the pharmaceutical company where she worked, records showed she had requested thallium multiple times, allegedly for lab research. In reality, prosecutors claimed she had been secretly slipping the poison into her husband's food and drinks. On January 29, 2011, just days after Wang's death, Li was arrested. In court, prosecutors painted a chilling picture. A brilliant chemist who chose murder over divorce. They argued she wanted to avoid custody battles and financial disputes, and instead decided to eliminate her husband altogether. Neighbors testified about the couple's volatile relationship. Police confirmed repeated domestic disturbances since 2009. Authorities also revealed their 2-year-old son had been placed in foster care until relatives could travel from China. In May 2013, Li stood trial. The evidence, from lab records to toxicology reports, was overwhelming. Though she pleaded not guilty, she showed little emotion throughout the proceedings. The jury found her guilty of first-degree murder. Her sentence, life in prison. The case of Xiaoye Wang and Tianle Li is a chilling reminder that sometimes the deadliest betrayals come from the people we trust the most.